Wildcat Report, one firefighter's experience with 9/11, an inside look into one student's life with Caysie and Haley in Everybody Has a Story, and RJ Wade covers fantasy football.
Taylor Charleston has a review on Apple's latest update, iOS 8. Dana and Carigan give us a little update on sports, and get crazy with Lillian and Craig. Hi, I'm Milan Bonner.
And I'm Kaylee Parker, and this is the Wildcat Report.
This week, Millard West students were given the chance to listen to Spanish speaker Simon Silva in the auditorium, where he shared many of his experiences, the importance of art, and encouraged the use of creative thinking.
Another opportunity that Millard West students had this week was to hear from retired firefighter and co-founder of the 9/11 Tribute Center, Lee LP Speak. For more on that, we now go to Danie Schneider.
Of course I hated it. My son was murdered here. Good friends were murdered here. But then someplace down the line, we have to make a decision. What do? Do we continue hating, or do we do something positive?
In honor of 9/11, on Tuesday, September 25th, Millard West welcomed retired firefighter Lee Eope, who witnessed 9/11 firsthand, dealing with the death of his son and former crew members. Eope is also the founder of the 9/11 Tribute Center, located at Ground Zero.
And the 670 guides that we've trained, all volunteers, are able to tell their story 13 years later to people like you that come and want to hear the stories.
He definitely impacted my life a lot because he taught me that always be on good terms with people because you never know the last time that you're going to see them.
In his speech, Eope said he loved saving people. A Bellevue firefighter had the same inspiration when he was young of helping people.
I joined the fire department when I was 15, it was a volunteer fire department. Joined that and initially to get some experience prior to going to med school, which is what I wanted to do originally. And then I couldn't picture myself doing anything else.
That is probably the biggest mission that we want to accomplish, is to have you understand what happened and how you can work together globally to make this world a better place.
This has been Danie Schneider at the Wildcat Report.
Rough and Ready Rodeo is a fun event for special needs kids to participate in activities such as stick horse racing, dummy roping, and barrel riding. Lizzie Feister, a sophomore from Millard West High School, got to experience this fun event for herself.
Well, wasn't that an exciting piece? Now we'll go to Caysie and Haley with a revival of Everybody Has a Story.
At first look, Rebecca Heinert might seem like a typical senior who is involved in school activities like show choir.
I started show choir when I was in middle school and have been involved with it ever since. Before the performance, I just try to remember the things that I usually forget.
When Rebecca's dad passed away 2 years ago from respiratory failure, she was able to gain from the experience and become so much more.
It wasn't necessarily sudden, but the day we didn't know when it was going to happen, but he was on life support, so we knew that it would be relatively soon.
During the following days and months, support from friends and family was crucial in the advancement of the Heinert family.
I feel the days right after were just kind of a lot of a blur, and you're just trying, we had lots of family, but I feel the months after were a lot harder, because every day, there's not one day I don't think about him.
I didn't know Rebecca before her dad passed away. I was more there for her after it occurred to help her go through it.
Day to day, Rebecca constantly thinks of her dad through the things that remind her of him.
Usually it's in the things that are make me smile and laugh. I remember him because he was a huge Husker fan, so that's in me too. And also he loved watching the squirrels in our backyard, so every time I see a squirrel, I always think of him.
I think overall, I admire her for being able to look past that and not have that event in her life define who she is.
I've learned that everyone has something going on in their life, and just to overcome it.
This has been Caysie Asthon and Haley Rezac with the Wildcat Report.
A Midsummer Night's Dream is back again. 10 years ago, Millard West produced this play, and now this fall, we will get the chance to see this classic tale again.
You can come enjoy this performance on Thursday, October 9th at 7 p.m., Friday, October 10th at 7 p.m., or Sunday, October 12th at 2 p.m. Just remember not to show up on Saturday because there won't be a performance showing that.
Check out Delaney Reynolds' review on the Midsummer Night's Dream on the Pop.
Another contest that some people might be into is the Fantasy Football League. For more on that, we now go to RJ Wade.
Fall is back, and along with all levels of fantasy football, from Pee Wee to professional, fantasy football is back too. Fantasy football is fairly simple. After joining a league, you draft or choose players that are on real NFL teams. Based on how the player does in real life, you get points. Between you and your matchup, whoever has the most points at the end of the NFL week wins.
Been playing fantasy football, let's see, for about 10 years now.
I've been playing fantasy football, for about 5 years.
The one that I'm doing well in, there's 16 teams in it actually, and in second place in that one. One I'm doing poorly in, there are 12 teams, and I'm in 11th out of 12.
Yes, I do play with friends, and we have a family fantasy league.
I prefer the Yahoo. I don't know, I like the app better on my phone, and seems to update quicker, and I kind of just like the waiver situation on that one too. So.
While many people play around with their rosters on their phones or whenever they can catch free time, some people prioritize it much more. There are plenty of leagues in which you can buy in, some ranging from $10 to $20 a team. Others, however, can get up to $10,000 just to get a spot. A man in Omaha has won over $300,000 off of playing fantasy football.
Yes, with the fantasy league, but not the family one. I think last year's winner won $100.
A bunch of buddies, we did a $15 league, and one time I did actually win. Unfortunately, I did not get paid because some of my friends did not cough up their money. So,
Fantasy football has countless TV shows and segments where NFL and ESPN experts give advice on who you should play and who you should avoid. Fantasy football is popular in Millard West and is played more and more every year. This has been RJ Wade with the Wildcat Report.
The iPhone 6 is the only new thing that Apple has to offer. They recently came out with iOS 8, so if you're still holding on to iOS 7, here's more from Taylor Charleston on her review.
So iOS 8 added a lot of new features as far as iOS goes. However, for the most part, there wasn't really a whole lot of innovation that happened as most of the features you've seen in previous versions of Android, which is why I usually prefer Android to the iOS operating system. I also found it funny how the first update for iOS 8 actually just broke everything and they had to take it back. So.
I actually did not update to iOS 8 due to the fact that my iPhone is jailbroken and it's currently running on iOS 7. If I updated to iOS 8, it would definitely ruin my iOS 7 jailbreak.
I have not updated my iPhone to iOS 8 because I just do not have enough storage to upload the iOS 8 onto my iPhone, so it just doesn't work out.
One of the most blatant changes made to iOS 8 was to the Messages app, specifically with modification of the keyboard and the addition of QuickType, where it can predict exactly what you'll say next.
I think it's a lot easier for the user. Like if your grandparents have an iPhone or something, they'll be able to type on a keyboard a lot easier.
A small addition to the camera app includes the ability to add a self-timer to a picture with either a 3 or a 10-second countdown, which ends with a 10-photo burst to aim for accuracy. Apple, in attempts to block out third-party photo applications, has updated their in-app editing software to take away the user's extra step between taking a picture on their phone and making it profile picture worthy. Adding voice to a conversation is now possible with the update. Simply touch and hold to record, then either swipe up to send or swipe to the side to delete on a whim's notice. Rumors of the ability to control a group chat turned out to be not just a rumor. Now users can add and delete contacts without having to delete or start a new conversation. They can put specific names to a group chat, share their location with the whole group, put it on Do Not Disturb if they are busy or can't read the messages right now, even leave the conversation and look at attachments that were shared later on.
I was at my house, I was just laying on the couch and I tried updating it, and it just wouldn't do because I just don't have enough storage and I don't want to delete my apps. It's just a hassle.
A life-saving feature that many are unaware of is under the Health app, where users can add an emergency medical ID, where they can list medical conditions, notes, allergies and reactions, what medications they are taking, where to reach an emergency contact, what their blood type is, if they're an organ donor, and what their height and weight are.
Really bummed that I don't have the recently deleted pictures like a recycling bin, because there's a lot of pictures or videos that I accidentally delete and wish I hadn't.
Simplistic changes and improvements have been made to pre-existing features in the photo application, with iCloud sharing and different ways to connect social media and your photos. With this, Apple has mainly only improved functionality, but no visual details that many have noticed. On the other hand, new additions were put onto the camera application with iOS 8, the first new feature being time-lapse videos, where iOS 8 and the camera work together to snap photos at dynamically selected intervals, which later you can go onto your Photos application and find a new video. And in this video, it will show an accelerated sequence of the photos that you just took over time. Much similar to the stop-motion video, but the camera does all of the work in this area, and is much more time-oriented than the stop-motion video.
I think honestly the best option would be to update to iOS 8 and then wait for the iOS 8 jailbreak to come out.
So in general, I guess if you have an iPhone, you should update to iOS 8, but it'd probably be a better decision just to get rid of your iPhone and upgrade to a better phone.
And this has been Taylor Charlson with the Wildcat Report.
With the new week comes new games for Millard West, including the Thursday homecoming game and tournaments played by Millard West volleyball team. Now we go to Dana and Carigan with this week's Sports Corner.
The varsity softball team traveled to rival Millard South last Wednesday, but lost 9-1. The girls took a home advantage though and crushed Bryan last Thursday 20-0. With bats still alive and gloves ready, the Wildcats went 3-0 in their pool at the Lincoln Southeast Invitational, defeating Pius 9-1.
At districts, I feel like we will do really well considering that we've played the course before. So I'm hoping that we will all do our best to improve our scores and get us to state.
Golf is now preparing for districts after an outstanding performance at Elmwood for Metros on Tuesday. The team shot a .391 and player Nicole Carnazzo contributed to the team's very well score. Good luck next week, girls.
Tuesday at Metros, I shot a 95 and I did really well personally. It was the best score I've gotten all season, so I was really proud of myself that I was able to shoot in the 90s this year, and I'm hoping that I will do either the same or better at districts next week.
Millard West swept Millard North 3-0 in volleyball Tuesday night and won against Burke Thursday night. The girls struggled against the Bulldogs in the second set, losing 25-18. They recovered in the third and fourth set by winning the home match by a score of 3-1. In volleyball, the girls defeated Omaha Burke 3-1. In the first set, 25-20. In the second set, 18-25. In the third set, 25-15. And in the fourth set, 25-11. The boys' tennis team hosted a duel on the 25th against Central, winning all but one singles round. The Wildcats also faced Westside, Prep, and Bryan this week, and doubles team Nathan Seaton and Ethan Stuckwit had great results. Wildcats can the Patriots. Quarterback sneak and Logan Anderjaska gets into the end zone, scoring again for the Wildcats. Millard South lines up, handoff to Tyrese Schuler, who throws the reverse pitch, fumble. Millard West hits it into the end zone and recovers, scoring another touchdown for the Wildcats.
Picked up by the Wildcats in the end zone.
Millard South, it was a huge rivalry game, and we were coming into like the school district, as in like Millard West, Millard North, and Millard South. We were going in 0-1 because we lost against North, and so we wanted to win. I got hurt around the second quarter, and basically what happened is the pile rolled up on me, and I tore a couple of tendons in my ankle. And Logan Anderjaska got like a little ankle sprain. Not too bad. He should be back in a week, so I have to wait 2 to 3 weeks.
First and goal on the 14 for the Wildcats. Dylan Hike hands off the ball to Dylan Hughes, who finds a hole in the middle and runs in the touchdown. Last touchdown for West happens as the Wildcats settle into formation. Another handoff, this time to Cody Jenke, who runs it 24 yards into the end zone. Millard West walked away with the win that night, 44-24. Last weekend, Millard South lost to Millard West, 24-44. Lincoln North Star lost to Millard North, 3-38. Omaha North defeated Creighton Prep, 47-14, and Omaha South lost to Omaha Central, 6-44. Panthers took on an early lead, making it hard for the Wildcats to make a comeback. Millard West finally scored in the fourth quarter, their first and last touchdown of the night. Norfolk won 28-7.
Zone. Caught. Touchdown, Millard West.
And where would sporting events be without Wildcat Crazies? For a look at this year's Crazies, we now go to Lillian and Craig.
Are you ready to get wild, Millard West? Let's meet some of our 2015 Wildcat Crazies.
Something interesting about myself. I hate Cole Martin. I hate him so much. I hate him more than anyone I've met in my entire life.
I'm Cole Martin. In the 12th grade. I hate Jack Keogh. He's just so aggravating. I don't understand.
My name's Evan Weekland. I am a senior, and I used to be 400 pounds. Sorry, school. I really didn't used to be 400 pounds, that's a lie.
There's nothing interesting about me.
What does it take to be Wildcat Crazy?
I just talked to Mr. Loof about it, just told him I wanted to be a crazy.
Went in there, asked him about twice if I could be one.
Just said, hey, Jack, do you break the law? Have you ever been to the office? What are your grades like? And I'm like, good! For all three of those questions. And then he's like, all right, you can be a crazy. I'm like, it was that easy? I'm like, you don't want to see if I'm crazy or not? And he's like, no, you're fine. I'm like, well, what if I'm not crazy? Like, isn't that just a poor judge of character?
Made the cut! Woo!
So he says, you grab 7, 8 people, round them up, see what's up. So I asked around, mostly the group now, obviously.
Well, Cole last year tried to get a group of crazies that was different than this one. Those are called the failed crazies. Never really happened.
Cole, Jack, Evan, and Jonathan, give us a job description of a crazy.
Our job is to be crazy for the Wildcats.
And pump up the crowd, yeah.
Let's get crazy.
Crazy.
One of the main things is being crazy even when you don't want to be crazy. Wouldn't you guys say that?
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Blackout, pink out, Hawaiian out. Let's get an inside look on how themes for games are chosen.
We're in a group chat, and we basically just all, talk at once, and then
we just kind of throw stuff out until finally we're like, all right, this is stupid, let's take it to a vote.
This Spirit Squad explains to us why they wanted to be a part of the crazy team.
Because freshman year, I was always that kid in the stands who was always trying to get everyone else hyped up.
I became a Wildcat Crazy because my older brother and his entire friend group were the Crazies when he was a senior, so I wanted to do it too, and turns out I kicked butt at it, so.
It's my dream in life, to just be myself and be loud and actually be kind of crazy. Yeah, get credit for it.
we are all crazies, or most of us are crazies. The ones who are actually crazy. It's because we get to be loud and we get praised for it, opposed to scrutinized for it, which is usually how it goes.
Evan, Jonathan, Cole, and Jack leave us with some inspirational last words.
Wildcats are #1. We're a great crazy team, squad.
You dang freshman. If I have to go back in the stands one more time and tell you to be loud, I will walk up to you, give you the biggest hug of your life.
This has been Lilly Griifith and cameraman Craig Morrissey with the Wildcat Report.
You have to go.
Yes.
You have to interview at least one of those.
Go Wildcats!
Come on.
Is it still running?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
This has been Milan Bonner and Kaylee Parker with the Wildcat Report.
Now you have a great week.